And what is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Black and White Takes. I'm here with my boy Simi and CK. Yeah, we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna bring you some best bets, some reactions to some big NBA news and injuries with Jason Tatum. Talk a little bit of golf with the PJ Championship starting tomorrow. But first, guys, we had the draft lottery happened on Monday, and it looks like Cooper Flag is going to be a Mav. With that being said, I thought it'd be a cool little segment that we did, kind of what we did with Cam Ward when he was drafted. Yeah, just real quick, guys. Cooper Flag versus current NBA number one options for each team. Who would you rather have? To start, we're going to start with Cooper Flag or Wemby.
Wemby.
I think this one's closer than people would like to admit, but yeah, you got to go Wemby here, definitely.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to agree with you guys. So I did start with I think easier ones and getting progressively harder in terms of, well, you guys will see. So Cooper Flag versus Trae Young for the Hawks.
Cooper Flag.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Cooper Flag.
Yeah, I would agree. Cooper Flag. Cam, this next one's going to be tough for you. Cooper Flag or Paolo Banchero? Two Duke guys.
That is kind of hard. I'd lean Paolo there.
Yeah, definitely Paolo.
Definitely?
Yeah, I think so, honestly. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Coop ends up being better, but I got to go Paolo, I guess.
Yeah, true. I'm actually probably going to lean Paolo there too. I know that's probably going to surprise you, but I lean Paolo.
Yeah, that does.
Cooper Flag or Joel Embiid for the Sixers? This is kind of tough.
Yeah, this question feels almost wrong. I would take Embiid at his best, but I don't know when I'm getting his best, so Cooper Flag.
Cooper Flag.
Yeah, I think if we're thinking about a winning piece, and obviously we all know the MVP talent of Joel Embiid, I definitely would want Cooper Flag, which is a pretty hot take.
Yeah, I would agree. I think Cooper Flag, I think Embiid's best years are definitely behind him for sure. This one's interesting, guys. Cooper Flag or Jason Tatum? I know we all know who Jason Tatum is. We don't love it, but he did just have that injury to his Achilles. So,
jeez.
Who do you have, Alec?
Jason Tatum.
CK?
Yeah, this is definitely Tatum, man.
Still? Even after the Achilles?
Oh, dude. I guess if you're saying, I keep forgetting that you're saying like right now.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how old is Tatum? 27?
27.
Yeah, I feel like I still have to go Tatum, but it's close.
So you think
close.
Even after the injury, he still has more good years, enough good years ahead of him to make up for?
Yeah, I would feel different if he was like 29 or 30, but I think since he's 27, he'll play again when he's 28. I still think, yeah, he's got like at least 3 more years of like being the best player on a winning team. At the very least 3 years. It's kind of optimistic, but I don't know.
Yeah, those 3 years don't do enough for me. I think I have to go Cooper Flag. I mean, because you're going to get some good years. I mean, even his young years, I feel like Cooper Flag is going to be good. And I think Cooper's prime can be just as good as Tatum's. Bold take, but yeah. All right. Cooper Flag.
Tatum's a champ. I wonder when
Cooper Flag's going to be a champ.
Yeah, I wonder how long it's going to take.
That's a good question. That's a good question. All right, continuing. Cooper Flag or Donovan Mitchell? This is hard too. We've seen who Donovan Mitchell is kind of in the postseason, and his ceiling in the NBA.
I'd go Spida here.
Mm.
Close though.
Yeah, I got to go Donovan Mitchell here. I mean, yeah, we kind of have seen his ceiling, you could say, but I don't know why. I usually I am the one to like pin the loss on like the best player, but I don't. I just feel like it's constantly like Garland and Mobley failing him at this point. If I'm being honest, so I like Donovan Mitchell.
That's a different debate. I'll let that go though. I'm definitely gonna go Cooper Flag here. I mean, his floor is like Donovan Mitchell is his ceiling is second round loss in the playoffs. That's what his ceiling is. Cooper Flag's ceiling, I mean, I don't know. I think you just have to go Cooper Flag here. But okay, this one's kind of tough. So for the Houston Rockets, we'll kind of do either or Cooper Flag or Jalen Green / Sangoon, Sugary Sangoon.
Flag over Jalen Green for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Şengün a little closer. I feel like Şengün is certainly more polished and skilled. A little more touch around the rim, but I feel like Cooper Flag gives you more versatility. Defends the rim. Can probably defend 1 through 5.
Facts.
Yeah, lean Flag over both.
Yeah, definitely Flag over both for me.
Same. Agreed. All right. He's been on a generational run, man, this playoffs. Cooper Flag or Tyrese Halliburton?
Hallie. Hey, what the Halliburton?
CK,
Yeah, this one's really close, but yeah, I'm definitely going Cooper Flag, actually.
But not Cooper over Spida?
Dude, come on, Spida's better than Halliburton. What are we talking about?
As a basketball player,
care.
maybe. As a basketball player, maybe not. But I'm going Cooper Flag here too. But Halliburton has really impressed me these playoffs.
Yeah,
Here's
sure, this playoffs, yeah, but come on, man, you gotta look at the full picture here.
He's also gone to Eastern Conference Finals as well prior to this year. Let's look full picture. Whatever. All right, Cooper Flag or Kawhi Leonard?
Similar to Embiid.
Yeah.
I'll take Flag.
Wow.
Yeah, if we're looking at going forward, this is definitely Flag. I think Kawhi's only on the descent.
Yeah, I have to lean Cooper Flag here. All right, 4 more. Cooper Flag or Zion? It's kind of tough.
Hard one. I'm going to go Zion.
Ooh.
Zion here. Yeah.
That's bold.
Hope he has a good offseason and stays away from the buffets.
Bro, you can't stay away from the food. I'll just
that
say
gumbo,
food.
bro.
That gumbo and fried chicken be getting to him, bro.
Yeah, I feel like that's got to be the hottest take so far. This is definitely Cooper Flag.
Really?
Dude, yeah.
Dude, Zion's one of the most efficient basketball players when he's playing, but
I love Zion.
he just doesn't play enough. So I'm going to have to go Cooper Flag here as well with CK. Cooper Flag or JB, Jalen Brunson for the Knicks. We see what he's doing to these Celtics. Who you taking? Mr. Clutch Time.
Brunson, easy.
Brunson, for sure.
Dude, I think you got to go Flag. I know that's crazy take. I know that's crazy. But, dude, Jalen Brunson, he's small. He's kind of already overperformed as a basketball player in the NBA in terms of where he was drafted, what he did with the Mavs, and now what he's doing on the Knicks. Like, I don't know how many. It kind of screams like a Monty Ellis, Brandon Jennings type situation for me. Like, I don't see that Jalen Brunson having that many more years left in terms of what he's doing right now, but maybe I'm wrong. So I lean Cooper Flag here.
I think he's the clutchest player, arguably the clutchest player in the league. I don't think he crashes out like Brandon Jennings.
How How many more guys do you have on this list? Because I have a question regarding what we just
I've
talked about.
I have two
Two
more.
more? All right, get
Yeah.
through that, and then I'll ask.
Yes, sir. Um, Cooper Flag or SGA?
SGA.
Yeah, I feel like you have to go SGA here, but I almost don't want to. But yeah, SGA.
Dude, I'm going as a winning piece. Cooper Flag. I think he's going to do so much on the basketball court, offense, defense. And then last but not least, Cooper Flag versus D Book.
Cooper Flag.
Yeah, I'm going D book
CK,
here.
tough one
I
for
know
you,
I'm gonna
though.
be. I know I'm gonna be alone on this one, but this is definitely D book.
Nah, you're not alone. I'm going D Book as well. I think D Book is just such a better basketball player than SGA. Hot take. But yeah,
That's
I mean, I
wild.
think D Book is the best two guard in the league right now.
It's definitely a case.
Arguably the best guard in the league. But
I
you
need
just
Book out of Phoenix or
yeah,
with a coach that can actually coach.
away from freaking Durant too, bro. All right, CK, what was your question?
My question: what's your? I think we've kind of maybe referenced his possible ceiling, but what's your floor for Cooper Flag? Because that's like
Siakam.
your floor.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
All-star. Like
There's nothing a little lower that we can go. I'm trying to think.
No.
Okay.
Siakam's his floor.
Yeah. Do you agree with that, Simi?
Yeah, I agree. They both don't really stretch, or they don't shoot the three very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that floor. I think Cooper Flag already defends it a little better than Siakam.
Yeah, a little bit more athletic, a little bit better finisher, better ball handler, better in transition, better passer than Siakam right now. But like that size and that positioning, that play style is just super effective in the NBA. So like that's why I'm like just saying his floor, little transition defense type, long athletic type wing, you know.
A possible floor isn't like DeAndre Hunter, right?
Nah, kind of different play styles.
Yeah, I mean, kind of.
I
But I
mean,
think there's
DeAndre
definitely.
Hunter's not rotating weak side and pinning a guy off the glass. Cooper Flag's giving you that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like they're not really. Yeah, they're not even in the same ballpark, bro. Like right
No,
now.
I mean that's true. Like in terms of their play style, but I just meant like what you said about the long, like athletic, somewhat wing that can obviously shoot.
Yeah, I think Cooper
And like their
Flag's.
body comps are similar.
Yeah,
And
I think Cooper.
position.
Yeah, I think Cooper Flag though is a better ball handler, a better creator with the dribble, and way more talented in transition. Like DeAndre Hunter is kind of a 3-and-D guy. Like he doesn't play as athletic as Cooper Flag.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, so I guess my only thing with the Siakam thing, I think that's a good comparison. But obviously, like Siakam's definitely a 4. Cooper Flag, I mean, he's arguably going to be playing the 3, and then if you look at him on the Mavs, you're going to get like AD and Lively possibly going with him at the same time. But I just look at Siakam as more of just like an actual like big that if anything would like stretch to a possible 5. But yeah.
Yeah, but he plays he doesn't play the dunker spot. I mean, it's almost a 5 out that the Pacers play, and they play really fast in transition. Like,
yeah,
he plays corner. I mean,
true. Yeah,
but,
no, that's what's up.
Yeah,
you're right. Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to see. I think I'm just happy that he's actually going to what should be a competitive team. Like as much as I wanted to see him on the Wizards, or I mean, I didn't want to see him on the Hornets or Jazz, but I just feel like it would have taken a little while if he ended up on like the Wizards, for example, to actually see him in the playoffs. Like it could have been like a 3 or 4 year process at least. So I think it's good that we'll see how he impacts a good team immediately.
Yeah.
He could be an
You
all-star in
think,
his first year.
Yeah.
dude, that,
I can
I
see
saw
it.
someone saying like him not being able to play his true position on the Mavs might hurt him. And not having like a real point guard is also going to hurt Cooper Flag, which
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that really at all. I think he goes in and plays right away and gets to have the ball in his hands a lot, which I'm not sure really hurts him. I think with the NBA space and his passing ability, and I think he does. I don't think he's an all-star, but I do think definitely lock for rookie of the year.
Yeah, he'll adjust. He's been in that USA basketball space, all over the AAU circuit. I feel like he can adjust to different situations.
Yeah, 100%. And like he played with the ball so much at Duke. It wasn't like he was back to the basket playing the four. Like he played on the wing, and at times Duke didn't have a real point guard either. Tyrese Proctor isn't really a point guard, you know? So he got some experience to having to create and be the offense and be the number one guy at Duke. So I think it carries over to the Mavs, and I definitely have him as a lock for rookie of the year, 100%.
Yeah, I wonder what those odds are. While we're on that subject, though, I do have another game, but this one is very quick. I promise. It's not going to be a 30-minute process. Hopefully, we can get this done in like even under 5 minutes. But I saw another thing on Instagram actually, and it was ranking the top 10 basketball prospects since 2021. So this would have been prospects while they were coming out of college. So I have a list of the top 10 right here. And since we're talking about Cooper Flag, I'll go ahead and give one. Cooper Flag is on this list at number 2, actually. So we'll do the same thing, 3 strikes. You kind of have to think about who's come out basically since 2021. And yeah, let's try to crank this out real quick. So Jace, you got anyone that comes to mind?
Cade?
Yeah, Cade is number 3 on the list. So that's a nice hit. So we've got Coop at 2, Cade at 3.
Wemby.
Yeah, Wemby's number 1. So we got the top 3 right there.
Dang, who was last year? Who went number 1 last year?
In last year's draft?
Yeah. Can you tell me the player?
Not Alex Sarr.
Oh, was it the guy for the Hawks?
Yeah,
Richey?
Risacker, whatever.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and he's not on the list, but that's not a strike.
He's not on the list?
No. Just for reference, 2021 was the year that Cade came out.
Yeah, I know. Dude, this is not going to be good for
All right,
me.
Simi, you got anything? Or Jace, you taking a strike?
I'm taking a strike.
All right, Simi, you got anything? Jay, stop searching.
When did
I'm
SGA
just
get
looking
into
to
the
see who
league?
got drafted, bro.
What'd you say?
How long ago was SGA?
Nah, he's before
He's
this.
2019.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just to give some hints, there's one other guy on this list that's in this upcoming draft class, so he's yet to be in the NBA. Everybody else is in the NBA except for one guy.
True. Are they all number 1 picks? They can't be,
No,
right? So
no.
we can go Chet.
Yeah, Chet is on this list at number 5.
Okay,
So
okay.
we've got
I can
4
lock
of
in
the
now.
10.
Jabari has to be on this list.
Jabari?
Paolo.
No.
Jabari's not on the list?
Strike 2. No, I'm not going to give you a strike because you already got one. But yeah, Paolo's on the list. Jay, it's your turn. So we need 5 more. We got half of them.
Is Evan Mobley on the list?
Yeah, that's actually a great pull. He's number 4. I was surprised about that. So we've got the top 6. We just need 7 through 10. But yeah, Evan Mobley is on the list.
Is this Dylan Harper or Ace Bailey?
You got a guess?
Go Ace. He's younger.
You go Ace, Jace?
Yeah, I would.
I'll go Ace too.
No, it's Dylan Harper.
Dylan.
So
Oh, wow.
yeah. So 3 more. Can you get any of them?
Jalen. There's no way Jalen Green's on this list.
Jalen Green actually is on the list.
Wow.
He was drafted, what, number 2 overall, right?
2 overall. Yeah.
There's actually another guy. Well, no, he wasn't drafted 2nd overall. But
What do you mean? Who? Or is there another guy for Houston?
no.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say Reed Shepard was 2 overall, but
No, the last 2 guys are both in the league. I want to say they both came out the same year. And they're both in like smaller market teams.
can you give us a conference?
Brandon Miller is one.
Yep, exactly.
Oof, yeah, good
It's
pull.
a great poll. Yeah, and then the last guy is in the West.
West.
He was drafted. I mean, obviously, it's not much of a help. Drafted in the top 5.
Scoot
Yep.
Henderson? No way.
Yeah, Scooty. Yeah,
He's
nice
booty
poll.
cheeks. He's so bad.
Yeah, I feel like overall though I kind of agree with this list. So we've got Wemby, Coop, Cade, Mobley, Chet, Paolo, Dylan Harper, Scoot, Jalen Green, and Brandon Miller. I feel like that's somewhat. Like, I don't think there's anyone that's getting left off the list that I would say as a prospect.
Dude, I would say like until his injury, Jaden Ivey was kind of balling at the 2 position.
He's a
Low
dog. Yeah.
key. He's a dog.
Yeah, he could have been a difference maker for the Pistons this year.
As a shot maker and scorer, absolutely. I would not be mad if I know he got hurt, but like him over Scoot in terms of just like how they've performed in the NBA right now, like you could argue that for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. Cool. Yeah, you guys did a little better on that one than the NFL one. So
yeah, not out here naming random defensive tackles.
Yeah. So let's talk about our little bet rollover challenge. So we were 1-0 after the first day. We cashed the Celtics -3.5 first half, and then we decided to go ahead and roll that over onto the Thunder -10.5 yesterday. Obviously did not cash. The Thunder were actually struggling up until the 4th quarter. They pulled away a little bit at the end after the Nuggets just couldn't hit a field goal. But I feel like Simi, you said something last night that I feel like is just kind of consistent with this Thunder team is they're finding ways to win, but obviously not cover these big spreads. But I feel like 1-1's not a bad start. What do you guys think?
Nah, man, the wheels fell off, man. The wheels fell off. We couldn't keep it going.
We should have been on Pacers.
Yeah.
I know.
But back next week, huh?
We're back next week on Monday. We're going to get through 7 days. We're going to get through one time. We're going to get through all 7 days. It will happen.
I feel like we should go for 5 days and then take profit. That'd be a nice little profit. But I mean, we could do 7, like Monday to Friday. Come on, man.
Yeah, I might have to reevaluate. We're going to change the goalpost here. We're going to make it 5 days.
And yeah, we got to hurry up while we have some like action every day too.
Yeah, we'll be betting no run first inning.
We're definitely gonna have to substitute some baseball. Oh man, but yeah, I mean, let's talk about that Thunder Nugget series since we touched on it. I know last episode you guys had a little bit of a hot take, in my opinion, talking about how we need to stop calling the Joker basically the best player in basketball, which I still do strongly disagree with. But looking at this series as a whole, The Thunder now are up 3-2. They were down 2-1, notably after Game 3. They were down 2-1, and then there was that. I was watching it live, that walk off where SGA was smiling after the game, and I guess it's good for him that since that moment they've won the last two. I guess I'll start with you, Simi. Do you think this series though is over, or is there still hope for this Nuggets team?
I was a little worried about the Thunder until that little fourth quarter run they went on, but I mean, I think the series is over. I'm not sure. I feel like the Nuggets will at least stand up in Game 6, but they probably end up losing another close one. But yeah, they're going to lose in 6 or 7, but that's their fate. Jess, what do you think? Oh yeah, actually, let me go back. Yeah, a little Jokic slander that he completely wiped that pretty much nonsensical. He had a efficient game last night. I'm not sure about the turnovers, but he was efficient from the field, pretty much scoring at will. And yeah, I mean, I'd say he's a little better than SGA, and I think that slander was maybe warranted for his first 3 or 4 games of the series, but yeah, he cleaned that up pretty quick. Jay, thoughts?
Yeah, man, I'm doubling down on my slander. What I mean, outside of when they win 2023?
Yep.
What I mean, he's had one great playoff run, and then outside of that, I mean, what has the man done?
I mean, he still
Other
lost last night, yeah.
Yeah, he still lost last night. What are we talking about? He still let his team go like what 6 minutes without a field goal, like in the fourth quarter. What are we doing? And I mean, the story's been the absolute same the entire series. You got they get out, they play slow possession basketball, they get a little bit of a lead, they're hanging in there, and then in the fourth quarter they completely lose it. Like they just go on a scoring drought. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's the only time it matters. What are you doing to win your team a game? What are you doing to get someone a good shot, get to the free throw line? Like, and this isn't, I don't think Shea is a great comparison of this Jokic slander because Shea isn't playing great either. Like, if this was a prime Steph or a prime LeBron, like, or a prime KD, like, they'd be running, it would look so bad for Jokic. He's just lucky he's going against Shea, free throw king, like someone that's struggling this series as well. Like, I mean, I'm not in love with. I mean, I'm just not in love with Jokic. Like, there's nothing there that does it for me. He's like the only superstar and multiple time MVP that can lose a playoff series, and we're all just like, okay, he wasn't supposed to win an NBA championship either, like this year anyway. He only has Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon, and guys that have also won a championship still on the roster that he's been playing with for 3 years. Same starting five. Like, I mean, there's no reason he should be losing close games. There's no reason the Nuggets should be losing this close game. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. I will say for some reason, I don't think this series is over. I mean, obviously, technically, it's not. And I mean, it's been a very competitive series, which has surprised me. I hear what you're saying, but I can't take away from the fact that I've been pretty impressed by the
By
Joker.
losses.
I mean, what do you mean? Like, I guess losing 3 games in the
Well,
series?
yeah, like when have we ever dude, prime Steph and prime LeBron, there's no debate if they were at least going to their
Yeah,
conference
but
championship.
my pushback on that would be so I think Joker's the best player in the world, first off. Second off, I don't think that Joker is like a Mount Rushmore player. I think LeBron and Steph are arguably like Mount Rushmore guys, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay. Once again, Jason Tatum, 6 out of his 8 years, he has made the Eastern Conference Finals. There's been no question of him getting to the conference championship. So why do we not hold the best player in basketball to the same standard of easily getting to their conference championship?
I mean, I feel like we do. I mean, I guess unless you're
No
saying it's
one cares
easy.
about Jokic. I don't know if it's because he's foreign and no one. I mean, let's be honest, we're Americans over here, and we don't like. I mean, we're not gonna innately root on. I don't know. Maybe that's a crazy take, but I don't think unless if you live in Denver, you're not like staying up to watch Jokic. But maybe he's just a boring basketball player, so we don't really care. And deep down, maybe we deep down crazy, but maybe we like don't really even want him to go to the Western Conference Finals. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it is so. I mean, honestly, and this is, I mean, not his fault, or I mean, it is his fault because obviously he's on the team. But if you look at last year, they should have made the Western Conference Finals. They lost to the T Wolves in 7, which was just dumb. Blew a big lead. Like, yes, there that is on Joker, sure. Um, but I
It's not even
mean, you
talked
know, that
about.
that game just could have gone either way. You just got like you got like basically Anthony Edwards just on a mission at home and won them that game. And then if you look at this year, I mean, one, the series isn't over. Um, you know, I mean, Joker's just the way I look at it is Joker needs to actually be outmatched in a head-to-head series. And the last time I have watched a playoff series with Joker where he's not the best player on the court was probably back in like 2017 or 2018 when he went up against like Steph and Katie and the Warriors. So the way I look at it is like Joker's the best player on the court by far. He has been arguably in like every single playoff series the past few years. And he's had a lot of success, relatively speaking, but I don't hold him correct to like the standard of a LeBron or Steph or someone that I would make the case for as like a top 10 player ever, even. So maybe we have some middle ground now.
Bro, his success came against the Heat.
Yeah, it's sus. Maybe it's because
Yeah.
Joker
He
treats
hasn't been a real
basketball
player.
like a job. Like he doesn't. It seems like he doesn't love basketball. Maybe he does, but he's the only one that seems kind of bored. Maybe that's why he doesn't get as much slander.
True.
Yeah, I don't know. People love talking trash about Jason Tatum, but yeah, people don't like get riled up about the Joker whenever if he ever like falters. I don't know why that is.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a good question.
that is a good question.
And I'm
But
looking at the box score too, real quick. So obviously the Joker 44 minutes, 44 points, 17 of 25 from the field, 5 of 7 from 3,
I
100%
got
at
it.
the
I
free
got
throw
it.
line, 15 boards. I mean, I'm just want to put that out there for reference. Obviously an insane game statistically. Um, Jamal Murray also balled out as well. But I mean, the one thing I know that is hurting their team is obviously Michael Porter Jr., who was 0 of 5 from 3, 30 minutes, 2 points. And obviously he's injured, but I've said it before, like when he's not hitting his threes, he's got to be like one of the worst NBA starters, in my opinion. Like there's just not much else that he brings to the game, if we're being honest. So I think that's definitely hurting them.
I disagree with
Um,
that, but I'm not gonna sit here and talk about irrelevant starter for a reason Jokic should win a game. So
that's fair. And then also just to point out, because I'm just going back to the series as a whole, like Christian Brown was a rough game for him too. He's been very good this playoff series. And sometimes even just the second man after Joker in terms of like putting the ball in the back of the net. But he really struggled, at least on the offensive end, um, against the Thunder last game. So I just want to say this series isn't over. I do think that we can maybe revisit and maybe you'll change your mind, Jace, if the Joker's able to win this series. But
I have
we'll
a
see what happens.
I have a Thunder ticket to win 4-2. I'm not. This series is over, man. They Thunder win next game, easy.
But what if the Joker wins? Will you like maybe
No, I'll
reflect a
give
little
him
bit?
the LeBron treatment, right? What we do with the best player in basketball. I'll give him the Jason Tatum treatment. Like, great, now you have to win a championship. That's not against the fluke Heat. And I'm not going to be like you and being like, yeah, let's blame Michael Porter Jr. Yeah, let's blame Christian Braun, one of the 4 white guys that start in the NBA. Like, that's just like, I mean, that's dumb. We don't do that with the best players on like in the NBA. It's like, why do we decide to do it with Jokic?
That's a fair point. I guess if you're trying to take away from the fact that the Joker is the best player in the league, Who's the best player in the league to you then, man? Like, who should we be crowning?
I mean, you guys aren't gonna. You guys heavily disagree with me, but up to this point, the reigning best player in the league was Jason Tatum.
I don't know. I'm on Team Joker for that.
Oh, dude, I'm taking Tatum. I was taking Tatum until I mean,
Dude, no. I mean, I feel like that's crazy to me. Like, bro, before Jason Tatum's Achilles exploded, they're down 3-1 to the Knicks. Like, let's be honest. The Knicks had that game even before his Achilles exploded. So let's keep that same energy that you just gave the Joker to
he's gone
Jason
to the
Tatum.
Eastern
They
Conference
both
Finals 6 out of his 8 years in the NBA.
Okay, timeout, timeout. We know that the West is way more loaded. The East is always weak, and it has been for the past decade compared to the West. It's much harder to make it in the West. They both have one championship, and also not that I'm not too keen on this, but it's not even like Tatum won the Finals MVP. But we can throw that out. But either way,
Yeah, that's
besides that,
stupid.
I feel like it's pretty similar statistically outside of the fact that Nikola Jokic has separated himself, especially in the regular season. Obviously, with his multiple MVP awards. I don't get the angle that you can have all this heavy criticism for the Joker, who was down 2-2 or tied 2-2 at the time with the best team in the league, and then you have Jason Tatum over here down 3-1 to the New York Knicks. That's
Okay,
kind
so
of crazy.
all right, to your point, I actually, if you ask me who the best player in the NBA, I actually couldn't give you a guy right now, if I'm being completely honest, because I think the NBA is actually in a terrible spot. That would be my authentic, real take, and that they're struggling for a superstar, and that's why they're like trying to prop up Joker, like even though no one really wants it. They try to prop up Tatum, they try to prop up Devin Booker, they try to prop up Luca. I mean, to me, the NBA is searching for a guy.
Yeah, that's a good
That's
I
my
thought you
point.
were going to say Steph, Jay. What if it's just Steph still?
It is Steph still. Like Steph would be in the Western Conference Finals right now. It is Steph still. Let's be honest. Steph has
Like,
been
that's a good
playing with a
answer. Yeah.
Steph. If you want to talk about like actually put up a fair argument for guys that have not played with anyone, is Steph Curry. Steph Curry should be the MVP. Steph Curry is the real best player in the league because we can see with that G League car salesman, piss poor, just debacle of a team they have over there, and Golden State. It is terrible. I'd rather watch third grade girls rec league basketball on a Sunday when I could be watching the NFL, right? That's how bad the Warriors are right now. It is atrocious. That's the best
Yeah, I
player in
mean,
basketball, Steph Curry.
I honestly like that argument more than the Jason Tatum argument for some reason. Just because I
Yeah,
feel like it comes from a
anytime.
different place and it's more speculative, but it's like if you're actually lining up like what Tatum and Joker have done in their careers thus far, I don't know why. It's hard for me to put Tatum above him.
Fair,
And I don't
fair.
we don't have to go back to that, but
No,
yeah.
yeah, fair. But every time Steph Curry has had someone that can chew gum and walk, he's gone to NBA Finals.
Facts.
I
I
won't
feel like
talk you
Tatum
off
is
of it.
held to a higher standard than Joker too, which could be any reason for that. I'm not sure why people love to hate JT, me included, but don't want to slander the Joker.
Dude, should we
Yeah.
just go into our reactions on the Celtics and this Jason Tatum news?
Yeah, we should. So we kind of already touched on it, but like it's late in the fourth quarter. It's looking like the Knicks pretty much have it wrapped up, but they were probably up at least 7 or 8 points when it happened late in the fourth. It might have been under 2 minutes left too, but we saw the usual, not the usual, but the usual symptoms of an Achilles rupture with the non-contact step and fall, and obviously, I thought for some reason it might have actually been his ankle with how much pain he seemed to be in, but it was of course, his Achilles. So Jason Tatum will be out for obviously the remainder of this season and this whatever. I don't even know how they're doing right now, so it could just be this game. But most of, if not all of next year as well. Probably wouldn't be able to return unless the Celtics end up making a deep playoff run without him. Uh, Simi, what's your reaction to this? Is it kind of the end of what we know as the Celtics with him, JB, Horford, and I mean more recently Porzingis and Drew Holiday? What's your reaction?
Yeah, kind of a rough ending, especially for Boston fans. That was a tough day to watch sports for them. I think this is the end of the Celtics as they're constructed. I should have started with I think they're going to win tonight. I'm not sure how they're doing, completely blind, but I
I
feel
love
like they rally tonight to win. But yeah, I mean, just a horrible ending and going to miss a lot of Jason Tatum next year. And I think, yeah, Drew Holiday, maybe Porzingis. I think Al Horford will probably retire after this year. So there's going to be some new faces in Boston. I think they keep Pritchard and Sam Hauser. But yeah, they're going to have to let go of some of the older guys. They need a little more spark. And then a lot of people were talking about them trading Jaylen Brown too. I'm not sure if they take that type of move, but yeah, I'm kind of glad. I'm kind of a Celtics hater, so I'm low key glad that they're gonna break this up.
Jace, what do you think, man?
Man, I feel bad for Tatum, dude. You guys know I low key. I'm not a Celtics fan, but I do like Jason Tatum. I think he gets a lot of unnecessary hate, especially from you guys in our group chat. I think you guys, for those that are listening, they love to call Jason Tatum the greatest role player of all time, which I think is just extremely disrespectful. He is a superstar in this league. So it sucks, especially to the Celtics fans, that he went down kind of the way he did at the end of the year. So most likely missing him for all of next year. But with that being said, I think there is some good that's going to come from this. Um, you kind of need to blow this thing up. And I hate to say that, like everyone was like, no, Jason Tatum and JB love playing together, but where has Jaylen Brown's head been so far up his ass this series that I don't even think he could find it, man. Like he looks so bad. Disinterested in basketball. I think it's time that I don't know the contract he's actually currently under, but I would look to trade him. Porzingis tonight, minus 14 and 10 minutes of play. Yep. Minus 14 and 10 minutes of play. So, that experiment gave him a championship, but after that and running into this year, it has just been terrible for them. Hasn't benefited them. He looks just not playing well. Alec, like you said, I don't think they bring Horford back to do like a one more year deal. I think he retires. But if they can get Jason Tatum back, Pritchard is solid. Derek White, they definitely want to keep him. And I think they have the leadership with Brad Stevens and the front office and the coach. And I mean, you have one of the best players in the league who's only 27. So I think they still rebuild and still stay relevant. But it's time to move on from some of these guys that haven't been a consistent piece that you're paying to be a consistent piece.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely in agreement with what you guys have said pretty much. And it's crazy because when I feel like this has happened before, but like when I saw Jason Tatum's Achilles rupture, you feel bad, and I think you realize like maybe you didn't hate someone as much as maybe you felt you did, because it's like he is obviously a superstar in this league. He's been consistent just in terms of like getting always deep in the playoffs, at the very least, getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. Um, I guess it is good, obviously that they were able to get one ring out of it. Arguably, I mean, I still think without the Steph Curry effect, they should have two, obviously, but it's like, dude, Steph just snapped on them. But yeah, I think it was cool to watch, but it is, I do want to see, I would love to just see other players around Tatum. I am kind of leaning towards, and I used to be pretty high on Jaylen Brown, but after just what he's done this year, it's like I want to see how Tatum does without JB as his second guy because, yeah, I don't know. it would just be nice to see Tatum around other guys that can ball handle and shoot and have size like him, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, and the
So,
interesting thing about Jaylen Brown is he's kind of been the same player since he's entered the league.
yeah.
Like, his game has not changed much, if we're being
Dude,
real.
why can he still not dribble?
That's what I'm saying.
He low key got Tatum kind of injured just from that turnover. Not to blame anyone,
No,
but
we're putting
he
blame
couldn't
out
dribble
there.
and then made Jason Tatum take that false step.
Crazy. Yeah. I mean, I feel like with JB, and I was thinking about this somewhat recently, but I feel like he's just and he is a mastermind, but I feel like he's actually a mastermind of just like finessing. And he was able to like get a super max deal. Like he's got it, like, bro, I don't know. It's just crazy to me. Like, I mean, yeah, he won the finals MVP. Like he gave really good minutes in last year's playoff
Nah,
run, but
that
yeah,
was BS. That was so
he's
fluke.
really not that like not that skilled and not that impressive at all. Like
So you're coming around to my side. I've been
well,
saying
yeah,
this
I
for a
mean,
long time.
yeah, I mean, like, let's think about it. Assuming there's no like major changes for some reason to the Celtics team, which I'm sure there will be, but let's even go into a hypothetical world. So, like, arguably, like with Jason Tatum, the Celtics team is more times than not going to win the East, going to go into the playoffs being a 1 seed. Let's just take Jason Tatum out. Look at the Celtics team with like Pritchard, Derek White, Jaylen Brown. Obviously, it's still, in my opinion, a winning team, but like I could see them like where do you see this team actually finishing in the East? Like, do you think this team is going and I think they're like a play-in team if I'm being
Mhm.
honest. I don't think it's a team that's still pretty solid. So even though it's constructed as a team that's meant to be deep, and they are a deep team, but Jason Tatum's really what gets this team going.
Yeah. Jason Tatum's also the scapegoat. Like, we're gonna see really how bad I think the Celtics are over the long term. Over the long term, right? Like, sure, they might come out with energy for one game, but when you're actually having to lean on Jaylen Brown for 2 months of basketball, dude, it might get ugly.
Yeah, the best thing that ever happened to Jaylen Brown was the fact that the Celtics got that pick the next year to get Jason Tatum. Like, let's just be honest, because if not, I mean, I don't know what would be happening.
Dude, JB's
So
kind of delusional too. That's also what bothers me about some stars in the NBA. Like he thinks he's the best. Like I don't know what the quote was, but he was like, "I'm the best driver of the basketball on the planet." Like, dude, you're delusional. You can't dribble with your left hand. Like, I don't get that. Like, at least be realistic in your thoughts. You know?
Yeah, bro. But like Cameron said, he's a mastermind. He's selling that max deal.
yeah, he finessed, man. He
Clown.
he collected the bag for sure. Cool. So yeah,
Oh,
we've
wait,
touched on.
he said that even with over like Giannis, like
Yeah,
he
bro. That's an actual
dog.
soundbite. I'm not sure if it was word for word, but that's a soundbite.
I guess you kind of somewhat have to be delusional though to play a professional sport.
That's facts. Yeah, but like, there's levels. You know?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. You have anything else, Jace, to say about the Celtics?
Get healthy, Tatum. We need you.
Yeah, yeah. I hope he's back sooner rather than later. But all right, so we've touched on the remaining series pretty much. I mean, the Thunder Nuggets. We've touched on the Celtics. Let's get into the Dubs and T Wolves. So tonight they get going again for game. What is it? Game 5? Game 4?
Game 5.
Game 5. So we're back in Minnesota. The line right now, T Wolves minus 10.5. Jace, what's your take? What's your feel on this line? Is it too big? Are the Dubs cooked? How are we feeling about the series?
Oh man, you guys heard my thoughts on what I think of the Warriors. Um, the Warriors that is without Steph Curry. But with that being said, give me Dubs tonight plus 10.5. I don't really want anything to do with this series, but I don't know. Like, I feel like the NBA has to give them this game, right? Or at least try to give them this game. Like, they want to see Ant versus Steph in a game 6, right? Like, the NBA wants that. You would think. So,
Yeah.
so I just lean. The NBA is gonna do all. My eyes itchy. Jeez, do all it can really to bring this game back for a game 6 in Oakland. We get to see Steph go against Ant, kind of the series and game we've been wanting, from the jump that we got robbed from us, just completely stolen. So yeah, man, I just have a lean plus 10.5 Warriors tonight. It's gonna be ugly. Maybe BP can actually hit a shot. Um, maybe Jimmy Butler can actually take a shot. So I don't know. That's where I stand on it. But there's really no confidence that the Warriors even touch this number. So, but if you're asking me to bet on it, I'll give a lean plus 10.5 to the Dubs.
Yeah, I like that. What do you think, Simi?
Not too much to say on this series. We're really seeing how bad this Dubs team is as constructed. And I don't even think the Wolves have put together a good game yet. So they're just literally coasting. And yeah, I don't want to waste too much time on this series. I don't think the Warriors will get out of this game tonight, which sucks because I feel like a lot of these series are ending 4-1, which is kind of boring. But yeah,
Dude,
Dubs cooked.
dude, it hurts my soul, man. I really think the Warriors win a championship this year if Steph is healthy.
Yeah, they match up well with this Wolves squad.
No,
I
they
will
would have
say
blown him
that.
out of the water. They would have blown him out of the
Yeah.
water. And then I don't know. We're seeing what, and it would be awesome. Like, we would actually get our debate, right? Like, because then we would get Steph Curry versus SGA, and we would get to see what a real superstar looks like the real best player in the league, what that looks like going against this OKC team. You saw a little preview of it with your fancy boy Jokic, and then you would get to see the real deal with Steph Curry coming into town.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, no, I agree. I don't really have much to say about the series and don't want to waste time on it unless the Dubs are somehow able to win tonight. Then we can revisit it and talk about Steph versus Ant and see what we think might happen. But it's kind of unlikely, but we'll see. Let's move it on. Looks like our last little segment today is the PGA Championship. I'll let you guys kick this one off and take it underway.
Oh yeah, you want to do clown of the week at the end?
Oh shoot, I missed that. Yeah, we could let's do it at the end. Let's do that at the
Okay.
end.
Yeah, man. We're kind of doing the same sort of thing. Just want to get our picks out there for the PGA Championship that starts tomorrow. I don't think CK is going to partake in this. We did it for the Masters. Cool little game that Alec and I are doing with some people from work. You pick 6 golfers, and 4 of your golfers have to make the cut. And then of those 4 of your top 4, you combine their scores, and whoever in the pool has the best 4 golfers combined score, that is who's going to be taking home the money. So, Alec, I'll let you know my golfers, man. I have no shame. I got Scotty Scheffler, Bryson DeChambeau. I got Rory, Jordan Spieth, Xander Schauffele, and Wyndham Clark. I'll kind of talk you through my thought process here a little bit. Scotty and Bryson, and Rory, all locks. You got to take the top 3 golfers in the world. Guys that are playing great golf, taking them. I'm taking Jordan Spieth. This is kind of a dark horse pick. I think his odds are like 20-1 to win, or 22-1. I can't remember what they last were, but it is the last major for Jordan to be, to complete the career Grand Slam. It'd be pretty cool to see Rory complete it, followed by Jordan in the next tournament. So, I thought maybe that's in play. So I'm definitely taking Jordan here. The course is a little long for him, but he's been driving the ball well this year on tour. So, and kind of moving up in the rankings. So I like that. And then Xander, Xander's just such a steady golfer, and these type of these type of betting pools, you got to go with steady golfers. So I'm sticking with Shoffley. And then Wyndham Clark. I think Wyndham Clark had won here in 2023. But he does, I believe, have a couple, majors. I think the last 3 majors he hasn't made the cut. So it is kind of a bold dark horse pick. But that's who I got, man. And my tiebreaker score is -35.
Yeah, I'll run through mine real quick. 2, I have 4 pretty steady guys. I have Colin Morikawa, Justin Thomas, Rory, and Bryson. And yeah, just expecting those guys to put together clinical tournaments. I think Rory's pretty good on this course at Quail Hollow.
Yeah.
And then a couple little more long shots who I expect to make the cut and maybe could sneakily play well this weekend in Minwoo Lee and Victor Hovland. Jay, you
Victor
mentioned
also,
Spieth. What were you gonna say?
yeah, Victor Hovland, I think, has won here before on tour and plays really well, or had like a top 3 finish or something. He plays well on this course.
Yeah, could sneaky find himself in the top 5 or top 10. But Jay, you mentioned Spieth and that everyone talking about the Grand Slam. I think maybe he'll get it, but I don't think it'll be this year. I think this is going to be Rory's year for that Grand Slam. Honestly, not even sure how Spieth is going to play this weekend. So I kept him out of my 6 in this pool. But yeah, expecting big things from Rory again here. He's playing sharp golf.
Yeah, I mean, he's always old reliable, not like my putter. But no, it's super interesting, right? Like there are kind of 2 methods you can take when it comes to this betting pool. So there are like 300 people in this betting pool that Alec and I are doing. Alec is kind of going with, taking the guys, the heavy favorites. I would say you have 4 of the heavy favorites. So you're gonna have to Alec is gonna have to be really sharp on his tiebreaker number, because a lot of guys are gonna have JT, Scotty, Bryson, Rory, and you have JT, Scotty, Bryson, Rory. So that's 4 golfers. Those are gonna be a lot of guys, top 4 golfers, where I'm going more with, I give myself a shot at, dark horse with Jordan. He's not very big. He's not picked very much in this pool. I don't know. He's kind of hated on, but he is kind of a mental midget. So I do kind of get it. And I would bet Wyndham Clark isn't even picked outside of me, if I'm being completely honest. So it allows me some float on that tiebreaker number. But it's gonna be interesting, man. I love this. I love golf majors, man. I just tune in. They're always great. They're always a great watch. Turn them on during work. If my work's listening, I still continue to perform. But love my 9 to 5.
Gotta support the business, brother.
Yes, sir. W. We'll see who wins it between y'all's battle. I was a little discouraged from the Masters, so I'm gonna sit this one out.
Dude, you should have won.
I know, man.
Who screwed me again? Fall apart.
Who was the guy? It was
Lowry.
Lowry, yeah. And he was so good on day 1, and then just
dude, he was good on the first 3 days. He collapsed on Sunday.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was the last day, the very last day. But yeah, no, that'll be something to track. We'll see who takes it. Cool. Simi, you want to talk about Clown of the Week?
Yes, sir. Clown of the Week segment this week. This guy could have been the clown last week, but this week he is for sure the clown. I've seen enough. Bill Belichick, the 73-year-old, 6-time Super Bowl champ, with his 24-year-old girlfriend, Jordan, and just some weird stuff going on with their dynamic. There was a 60 Minutes interview that was entirely weird. Why was she at the UNC spring game? Bill, why are you letting her run your public relations, basically? Why was she telling you what you can and can't talk about in that interview? And is Jordan actually banned from the UNC facility? Just all around weird here. Bill Belichick, you are the clown of the week.
That's a good one. Jace, you agree with that? What do you think, man?
Dude, I feel like you're gonna have a hot take here, but I feel like you will. Dude, I don't know, man. Like, good for him, I guess, but also like, I don't know, man. It all seems so weird, so unauthentic. Um, just out of character for Bill Belichick, a guy that hates the media. Um, we just got raw Bill for so many, no pun intended, for so many years, like with the Patriots out there despising the media, being blunt, being short. And then now we get this like cringeworthy, which was always my question with him going to a college football team, right? Like we saw with Brian Kelly too. Remember that viral video that went around of him like on with the light and the recruit? Like, was Bill Belichick going to partake in that stuff? And now we got him doing 60-minute interviews talking about Instagram that he really has no idea what the app even is. Like she probably controls his app. I mean, dude, it's just as I mean, we know why she's with him and we know why he's with her. So like I think because we know that, it makes it a little bit less weird. Like if you're upfront on like what it is, like look, we know what it is. It's not it's kind of been that way for centuries, right? Like but what makes it weird is just like why is he giving her access to so many things in his professional world and kind of hurting his name? I mean, as a man, like your name is kind of what you go out on and your legacy. So it is kind of embarrassing from that sense, but just a clown, bro.
I left out that she's objectively attractive, so well done there, Bill. And he's still rich, so he's a clown, but he's a
And
rich
he's so
clown.
rich. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's so rich.
Yeah,
CK,
I
you
look
got
at
any
it.
thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I look at it as it's more just like funny. Yeah, it is kind of. I guess it is kind of clown in a way, but no, I think what Jesse said was pretty much what I agree with. I mean, clearly it's a. I don't. I mean, I don't personally have any issues with like if that's what you want to do and have a transactional relationship like that. That's totally fine. I mean, clearly she has a lot of control and say, but also I just don't. I just think Bill's in the place in his life where he's just chilling, having a good time, and he doesn't care enough to, you know, have to, yeah, I guess, control or be in control of every little thing. So he's just having a good time. He's obviously done a lot of the hard work already throughout his career and winning 6 Super Bowls. So I do think it is just a funny situation overall as more and more things continue to come out.
Bro, the weird thing about this is though, like, is Bill having a good time? Like, this doesn't strike me as like something Bill enjoys. Like having to go on 60 minutes and look like a fool talking about Instagram, in which he has no idea what the concept is. Like
Yeah.
he hates this stuff. Like he hates it. He doesn't want to be doing this. But hey, maybe everything else is good if you know what I mean. So
Yeah, nah, I agree. But cool. So yeah, Bill Belichick, you are the clown of the week.
Paint your face. Come on, bite.
Yes,
paint your
sir.
face.
Paint
Come
that
on.
face. Red, white, and blue. All right. You guys got anything else before we get up on out of here?
No, sir. I'm
All
good.
good, bro.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for watching. If you tuned in, watch the rerun, be sure to like and subscribe. We're going to continue to be active on TikTok, on Instagram, posting clips. So like it up. I think we're at 37 subscribers now, which is making progress, man. So we're going to continue to grind out content, stay true to our schedule, and we